Ever wondered about the differences between British and American English? It's more than just an accent change. Today, we delve into this fascinating topic, exploring how the same language, born from the same roots, has blossomed into two distinct versions. You see, British and American English have evolved uniquely, shaped by their respective cultural and historical influences. It's a journey through words, spellings, and pronunciations that have taken their own paths across the Atlantic. So buckle up as we embark on this linguistic adventure together. Spelling differences can be tricky, but they're a key part of understanding the differences between British and American English. Let's start with a familiar example. In the United States, we spell it color, while across the pond in Britain, they add a little flair with an U, spelling it color. Now, let's say you're headed downtown. In America, you'd be going to the center of town. But in Britain, they flip those last two letters around, making it the center of town. And what about when you have a light bulb moment and you suddenly realize something? Well, in American English, we spell it with a Z. But in British English, they swap that Z for an S, spelling it realize. So, why these differences, you might ask? Well, American English tends to be more phonetic. That is, words are spelled more like how they sound. On the other hand, British English often retains the original spelling from the language of origin, resulting in some extra letters and different arrangements. But let's be clear here. One isn't better than the other. They're just different, each with its own charm and idiosyncrasies. Remember, neither is incorrect. It's all about where you are and who you're communicating with. Vocabulary can be a minefield when navigating between British and American English. Let's explore some examples. It's fascinating how the same language can have such different words for the same things, isn't it? Let's start with what you put your luggage in when you're about to hit the road. In America, you'd throw your bags in the trunk of your car. But if you're in the UK, you'd pop them in the boot. Same space, different names. Now imagine you're looking for a place to live. In the States, you might be hunting for a nice apartment. Cross the pond to Britain and you'd be searching for a cozy flat. And here's a sweet one for you. If you've got a hankering for a little treat in America, you might reach for a cookie. But in England, you'd be enjoying a biscuit. These differences in vocabulary often stem from different cultural references and influences. The American word trunk may have come from the trunks used for storage in the past, while the British boot could be a reference to the boot locker found on horse-drawn carriages. The terms apartment and flat could be influenced by architectural styles. American apartments often refer to units in multi-story buildings, while British flats could be on any floor of a building. And as for cookie versus biscuit, well, that's a delicious debate that's been going on for centuries. Americans use the Dutch word koekje, meaning little cake, while the British biscuit comes from the French biscuit, meaning twice baked. So, as you see, these vocabulary differences between British and American English are not just about different words. They're about different histories, different cultures, and different ways of seeing the world. Next time you hear someone asking for chips in the UK, remember they're not talking about what you'd find in a bag of Lay's. Pronunciation can be the most noticeable difference between British and American English. Let's dive in. Take the word tomato, for instance. In the land of the free and the home of the brave, it's pronounced tomato. But across the pond, in the land of tea and crumpets, it's pronounced tomato. Then there's vitamin. Americans stress the first syllable and pronounce the second syllable like min, like in minute. But Brits stress the second syllable and pronounce the I, like in it. And let's not forget schedule. In the US, the sh is pronounced like eski, similar to school. But in the UK, it's pronounced like esh, similar to she. These differences often come from differing phonetic rules and regional accents. But despite these differences, we all understand each other pretty well, don't we? Whether you say tomato or tomato, it's still a delicious fruit. Or is it a vegetable? As we've seen, the differences between British and American English are varied and numerous. Our journey today has taken us through the fascinating divergences in spelling, from color versus color to center versus center. We've delved into the world of vocabulary, where an elevator becomes a lift and fries transform into chips. Then we've explored the realm of pronunciation, where a schedule can be pronounced schedule or schedule, depending on which side of the pond you're on. But let's reiterate, neither version of English is correct or incorrect. They're merely different flavors of the same linguistic ice cream. The important thing to remember is context and understanding your audience. It's a matter of tomato. So whether you're enjoying a cookie or a biscuit, remember, it's not just English, it's a rich tapestry of language shaped by history and culture. Thanks for joining us on this linguistic journey.